University of Science and Philosophy is opening up for the first time in the universe, the Walter Russell Museum. And it is gigantic. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. And there's how many tons? I'm here with Matt Presti, the president of the University of Science and Philosophy.
Really?
And Matt's here. And we got Neil, we got Terrence.
Robert's
Neil,
right there.
We got Robert. Neil, let us know what we're doing.
I'm ready. It's already recording.
Perfect.
I'm on the ball, man. Oh, that's awesome. So how are you doing?
Who, me?
Well, you're the big guy right now, but I'll take Buddy too.
No, we're doing all right. I mean, everybody. I just hit 50, and about 20 minutes from finishing I'm got another. My book 1 × 1 = 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just about 2 minutes from finishing that. I just got DJ to finish up some pictures for me, some last shots that I need for it. And the wave conjugations are the opening of the flower of life. The fruit from the flower of life is ready to be disseminated to the rest of the world, so we'll have the true math that we were supposed to have.
I have been the fact that you just had a birthday. Number one, happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
That's you only cross half a century once, right?
Yeah, well, no, I'm gonna do it a couple.
Go do it a couple times. Okay, well then I'm. Well, I guess you're right. I suppose long after the rest of us are not thought of, there will always be. Well, do you remember Terrence Howard from back in the day? So
the wave conjugations will always be.
Well, that's what I like. You want to go further than your own, than just you. You want to leave something for others. That's always worth it, in my opinion.
We are not. I am not the end all and be all. I'm just a link in a chain of events.
Yes. The next generation is handed to. I know, it's beautiful.
Yes, I'm standing on the skulls and the skeletons of my past family members. We're all continuing in that life, but now it's time to do it the right way, the proper way. Once we abandon these straight lines and Euclidean geometry and Euclidean space and actually walk into 3D space and curved space, everything is going to work out.
That is the most compelling thing that I hear from people who are more attuned with the Russellian aspect of things. I find that that's what makes this so wonderful. Now how big is this wing that they did for him? What'd they do? How big is this whole section that you saw there, buddy?
The museum?
Yes. Well, I didn't know how big I didn't know it was actually. I mean, you said museum, but I thought that might be hyperbolic.
No, it really is a museum. I'll let Matt explain about it.
Yeah.
Greetings, folks. How you doing, Terrence?
I'm good, Matt. I'm so good. Can't wait to get there and look at that space and start getting busy.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday to you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All of us. Yeah, we moved 64 tons of art, sculpture, and personal effects from the warehouse to the new location in November. We did it with 7 people in 9 days, equivalent of 11 tractor trailers.
Oh my God!
Filled with 40 of that 64. I estimate to be about 40 of that. I estimate to be the artwork by itself. So he had. On display at Swannanoa, which was a 52-room mansion. Obviously, they could only display the lower sections, so there was maybe half the space available that there is in this space. We have 32,500 square feet of display area. Well, not display area, but I'd say that's the total building. Display area, we're probably about 25,000 feet.
Well, yeah, you're always going to need rooms for different things, restoration, that type of thing.
Yeah, we've got all those areas are set up. We're going to have painting classes, sculpting classes, science classes, art classes, music classes, acting classes, all kinds of stuff. We're going to coordinate with the community and get people in for a monthly presentation. We're going to have a homecoming yearly, and most just preserving the Russell legacy, which is my mission here. And we have an area for traveling and local art exhibits, and also an area where I need to show Terrence when he gets here an ideal spot to put his setup, which he's going to donate some of his artwork to be displayed here in an area. There's a couple different places actually that would work very well. But traveling art and local art will, with a traveling art exhibit, I even offered Buddy to make his the first. If he could get me 22 nicely sized framed Dougherty Set pictures of his coils, he could be the first traveling art exhibit and set up for the first 6 months and then get it going around the world if possible. So,
and from what I understand, you're saying Terrence's work and my work, and possibly Hannah's would be the first traveling, or what?
No, I'm gonna have mine as a permanent.
Yeah, permanent. So it'll be nice to be side by side with you, Terrence, because our complements it so well.
I now wish I was there with a camera, because I would just follow you guys around and go, okay, now we're going to make the footage of a documentary of this wonderful place that you guys are building. Because I got to tell, hey, guess what? If I'm not doing it, that's a great idea. You guys should be doing that, because this is a once in a lifetime thing. You got something let's just be honest. There'll be stories about this. In my opinion, no matter what happens with Walter Russell, he has made such a big impact on people's lives, even if he was scoffed at. Well, I guess you could say I'm an electrical engineer. My professors would probably not take it seriously, but here I am talking, looking, and I see things within the resonance, within the conjugation of waves, as we were saying, as all of this, to bring something richer than just the surface and to explore deeper on what this actually means. I think it's fascinating, and it'll never be moved again. It'll be the one time. So I hope you get some good footage of it.
And piggybacking on what you're saying, these wave conjugations that's been discovered, they put an end to the platonic solids. They actually prove all of the work that Walter was speaking about regarding the ether. It gets rid of the Einsteinian, Schrodinger misuse of information, or misappropriation of information.
That still sits badly with my professors to this day. I got to tell you, that's one thing that the electrical engineers will agree on. They go, well, there has to be an ether. Why? Because here's the properties of it. Like this,
there are the properties of it.
There you go.
Yeah, the moment that they walk away from it, and that's what I was saying. In the discovery of these new pieces that replace the platonic solids, that prove that everything in the universe is curved, that all energy is curved. It takes the feet, the carpet, the ground from underneath the scientific community that's been holding us down with this false doctrine for such a long period of time. And what Russell began, and what John Keeley began, and what Tesla was carrying forward, that we're the children of their dreams. We're the ones that still following and pushing this stuff forward. And the world will never be the same after this year. I promise you. After this museum opens, everything changes, because now people can come to a place and find absolute truth.
I was going to say, I need to make a trip. Clearly. Sounds like amazing. I want to see pictures right now. I'm that impressed. You've sold me.
We would do a little sneak peek walkthrough, but it's just it really is worth your time to come out here and see it for yourself. I was thinking, like maybe a little storefront. No, this is way bigger than that, and
maybe we could give a little.
We could, yeah. We might be able to give them a little snippet. It's up to Matt here.
I'd like to add something as to what Terrence was saying. I'm in full agreement. We stand on the shoulders of giants, right? I mean, none of what we have would be here if it weren't for the shoulders of the giants that we stand on. But we are also giants in our time that need to carry that mission forward. And basically, this comes down to a battle. The battle is between the science of materialism and the science of idealism, or I should say, science and philosophy. And long have the materialists held the reins of science and philosophy. Materialism is a philosophy.
Yes. Because
science is born from philosophy. And if you hack off the root to stare at the tree, then you're missing all the beauty that's underneath, you know. And when Hawking said philosophy is dead, that was an admission by the materialists that they don't need philosophy anymore. But the whole thing about it is materialism is the leader right now, and not for much longer, because even the materialists are starting to steal from the idealists, who they banned back in the early 20th century, and presenting their ideas as their own. And if you're smart enough and you have a background and you can go back and reread a lot of the idealists, you know, from Schellinger to
Democritus or
Albert Whitehead to Russell, you know, there's so many idealists out there. You're going to find that materialism is slowly creeping its way back toward idealism because they've ran into a dead end. On which they cannot go beyond. And that's why there's so much resistance, because it's really hard to admit that you made a mistake. And Russell said the universe being made of ball bearings called ether that bang into each other to move light waves is as fantastic as the theory that the moon's made of green cheese. And so you're going to have to throw out a lot of this stuff. It doesn't require even a fourth dimension. It doesn't require dimensions above the third. It requires that you understand what the third is and be where you're at, instead of trying to get to somewhere that may or may not exist because your imagination demands that there must be a place where humans can get along with each other. We need to live in the world we're in. We need to figure out how these three dimensions work and the light waves move and coalesce and how they concentrate and decentrate like our very own bodies. It's all an inhalation-exhalation process. It's as clear as day, as clear as the cycles of your own body breathing in and breathing out. If you can't unify your own breath to the breath of the sun, which does it every 11 years, and they falsely say it's a reversal of the magnetic field, which it's not. It's only changing the direction of its breath. That's all it's doing. We're gonna easily be able to get on top of this runaway materialistic paradigm that's been controlling the planet and producing garbage for technology in terms of emissions and pollution for the last 150 years. It's our time now.
Well, that's what I was saying regarding that 1 times 1. Materialism has been able to hold its reign supreme because they've had the numbers fixed. You know, when 1 times 1 equals 2, then you have a balanced universe. When 1 times 1 equals 1, you have an unbalanced universe. You have an improbable universe. Because you have action times an action without reaction. And the beginning, and remember, all of our commerce, our entire world economy is based on 1 times 1 equaling 1, which happens no place within the universe. So the moment that we start proliferating the truth and propagating the truth, you know, the entire system collapses and we're forced to begin with something new.
Terrence,
that's what I've been able to prove with my book.
Yeah, I think just your shapes alone speak volumes for themselves. With leaving the 1 times 1 and 2 and all that stuff aside, just your shapes alone are so transformative. I mean, Frank Chester came up with one shape, well, probably several, okay, but his chestahedron, nobody can deny it's gorgeous, and nobody can deny your shapes. They're amazing, and they can be put together in so many different ways. We're just beginning to learn the crystalline lattice structure of earthing currents and the flow of energy and motion.
That is so amazingly odd that you said that, buddy. But at the same time, when I'm listening to this philosophy, I can hear some things that my professors have said and others have said that are their problems with the philosophy of materialism. I mean, and you got to be very fair with people when you're dealing with electricity. This is one thing that no one actually sees. You can't see it. You can only experience it when it occurs. So when you're actually working with it, you have to work basically in your head. But the end result is something real has occurred. Now that alone proves something. But applying that sort of invisibleness, what is this power we are using, to the rest of this world, to the rest of the universe. Yeah, you're right. Materialism has gone, nope, we have blocks of something, and then there's empty space and more little balls of something, and that's it. Like, why? Who told you that? And besides, number one, we got up there, and guess what? It isn't. So, and you're right, the books are still taught that way, and the philosophy has not moved forward. And I'm not sure if they brought, sorry, buddy, I just wanted to finish. I'm not sure if when they merged those two things together, that they brought, when they brought the church back into the fold, and Elementaire said, yeah, Big Bang, bending of time space, this is all cool. And they rolled with it. I'm not sure if we really advanced much past that point. I think that was a big stymie in our progression right there. Oddly. Because, I mean, you'd think that with the inclusion of the mind of philosophy that it would actually come back, and it didn't. So, actualism won out.
Oh, go ahead, buddy. You had something you wanted to say.
Well, I was going to say, if I don't know how long you guys have, but we're really busy at the museum working here. So if everybody wants to see, we can give a little tour real quick and then be on our ways with the conversation.
Well,
sure, we'll start at the back and work our way forward.
Yes.
We have a designated catering area. So we're going to do some building rentals for income. This is the AV world. This is half my rig for video and some of the audio. So I'll be moving more stuff here to do some audio production, but we can do full video production for all the promotional stuff that we need for the YouTube page and any commercial work for local news and channels and things like that. This area is going to be traveling art and local art, and either or possible wall here where we can do some of Terrence's display. We also have this.
Oh,
and there's 4 of these, so we have plenty of room. Like I said, we're gonna start Walter's work at the front of the museum and work it all the way back. We're gonna put the attractions that change from time to time. There's people running out of the shot there.
Oh, don't worry about it.
We'll do some attractions in the back that change from time to time to keep bringing people all the way through. You can see how these rooms are segregated here.
Oh, yes. This will be amazing.
We're going to rent this out to whoever can rent it, but it'll be a corporate kind of meeting area, and also for our monthly events and also for our classes. So this is getting painted. We're going to have a large 16:9 screen with a projector, microphones, speaker system, the whole thing. There's the podium I built, if you can see it. And then we'll do a little riser. So this will be totally pro. And we're moving in further to the front. This will be illustrations. There's literally hundreds of illustrations that we're collecting from Walt that he did for different magazines, from Collier's magazine to many other magazines, including drawing mock-ups for different children's books and things like that. That'll be displayed in this section. These are his hand-carved wood chairs that he carved. We'll unveil those in a display.
They're like 100 years old, aren't they?
At least, yeah.
So
and then we
antiques
have,
in their own right, yeah.
Absolutely. So he was a master wood carver as well as all the other things he mastered. But this will be the science area.
I heard Jesus was into that, so.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. We'll have all the science paintings in here, as well as an optical dynamo generator display where you'll be able to walk up and actually see the coils and look into the device. It won't be hooked up, obviously, because it's one of his, we haven't been able, we actually are designing something similar, but a little different. Instead of, we saw the historical value in leaving his work alone and just doing a completely new design based on it. These are the mahogany doors that are going to go into the restroom area. This is some of the upper, what do we call it, the upper gallery. There's our drywaller. He's putting in the additions for the restrooms. We have to have handicap accessible restroom. We're putting in a storage closet. Jeremy did the did all the tile work, so we got some grouting to do yet. So we have a regular restroom, the handicap. Had to get sprinkler heads moved. This is all turning out to cost quite a lot of money, but it's all going to be worth it in the end because it's, it's going to be a state of the art, really killer museum. Say hi, Wayne.
Hey.
There's a $17,000 wheelchair lift we had to install in order to have occupancy due to building codes. So I did shop around. That's about the best deal we could find. They're not cheap, guys. So if you're planning on opening anything with a building you buy, make sure you consider
only have one floor.
This you see now is the main gallery. There's the office, the cashier area. These are all the paintings. These are all Walt's paintings. It filled up an entire 26-foot box truck from front to end.
Wow.
And then
some of these haven't been actually on display in like decades.
In 21 years. None of this has been displayed in 21 years except for what went to the Boston or the Baltimore Museum. And these are the sculptings. Yeah, Baltimore. What was the name of that museum, Terrence, where you and Michael visited when you had your display work there?
Terrence already had to leave. I'm sorry.
Oh, did he? Okay.
So, yeah.
Visionary and Performing Arts in Baltimore. So these are the sculptures in these boxes here. A lot of the sculptures over there. The sculpting stands are being cleaned at this time. This is a sneak preview. Nobody in the world has seen any of this yet, minus a few pictures here and there. So, but there's just a lot of stuff to work on yet, and we're not stopping. We did 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. last night, and was back here at 7 this morning. So, a lot going on. I'm going to turn you guys back over to Buddy.
You want to show them a little archives? There's just because there's boxes and boxes, or you can just tell them.
Yeah.
Okay,
we have it downstairs. You can see. We have an entire extra section of archives, which will be off limits to the public. That'll be authorized personnel only, but we may consider researchers and such requests to come in.
I was going to ask that because I'm sure the closest intellectual descendants that even remotely give homage to Walter Russell is the Electric Universe crowd or Natural Philosophy Alliance. I think those are the only two. So it's actually kind of nice to see that you actually have this connection and that you're going to have an archive section that we can have scholars go in and, I'm not obviously request only, of course, but.
Yeah, just we'll vet them, make sure they're genuine and not out to do anything nefarious. You got to protect everything these days, considering what happened to past greats and their work and how it disappears. So we've been able to actually, in doing what we're doing, we've seen a lot of things come back. That when things moved out of the palace in 1998, people took things for safekeeping because they didn't trust what was happening.
And I was hoping that would happen.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of things come back, like the actual manuscript to the Divine Iliad itself, his actual handwriting of the 39-day experience. So that was priceless. We've seen a lot of that stuff return. We still have to do a full inventory on everything. We have quite a lot, as you could see, to inventory in just the short video walkthrough we did. But anyways, nonetheless, that's kind of where we're at. We're all excited. We're working real hard. And, I as much as I love Walter Russell, I personally don't like the term Russellian. It just kind of sounds goofy to me. But it's just the Russell science and philosophy is extremely valuable, and it should be preserved, unchanged, untouched, unedited, the way it was meant to be by him and his wife, who work together to give it to the world. And that's what I intend to do. People have all their ideas. They want to change stuff, but what notes of, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony or what brush strokes on the Mona Lisa would you opt to change? And should anybody really have the right to say that should be altered?
Oh, they can reach they can put that. Yeah, no, I won't let the paintbrush go near that thing.
Exactly.
No, you don't change a darn thing.
Posterity can decide what they want to do with it, but we're going to keep it as it is. And like I said, our mission at the university is to simply preserve the Russell legacy And that includes protect it from the New Age movement as well, because they expressly did not refer to their work as metaphysical, but rather meta-scientific. And they said there was a very great difference between the two of those. And I prefer the term meta-scientific myself, because it's, these things that he gave us, these concepts, they align with nature, unlike the bizarre theories that come out from academicians who are simply using their senses to evaluate motion in the universe. And when we get to the understanding and start to see some demonstrations, things are really going to move ahead then. But I thank you all for having me on, and I'm going to give you back to Buddy. Good luck with you.
Well, thank you, and thanks for everything. That was amazing.
Yes, thanks for the walkthrough.